Hello, everyone. You will now hear a brief retelling of the movie Timbuktu. Enjoy watching it. Armed men in a car race through the Sahara, chasing a gazelle. Then they shoot masks and statuettes with machine guns, thereby destroying the cultural heritage of the Moli people. Religious fundamentalists have come to power and they are fundamentally changing the lives of the local population. They announce over the loudspeaker that it is now forbidden to smoke and listen to music. Women must wear leather socks and gloves. Armed gunmen are stationed on the rooftops. A man was stopped in the street and ordered to roll up his pants. He ended up spitting and just taking off his pants. Another resident was indignant that the jihadists had dared to enter the mosque with their shoes and weapons, but the men replied that they could because they were waging a jihad. According to the man, a righteous man waged a jihad with his head, not with his weapons, and there was nothing to be done here with these machine guns and to prevent them from praying. In Timbuktu, everyone is busy doing his own thing. The boy grazes cattle, the fisherman Amadou sets his nets, Akidan spends time with his wife Satima and daughter Toya. Armed men in the market harassed a woman selling fish and demanded that she wear gloves, but she is an honest woman without gloves, and she was forced to wear the hijab, especially since she simply cannot wear gloves. Kidden needed to go out on business and left his wife and daughter alone. The man from the mosque asks the jihadist Abu Hassan to stop, because he is destroying Islam and Muslims and putting children in danger. Here recently he hit a woman just for complaining about the gloves. They have no compassion, no forgiveness, no pity. One of the main Abdelkarim and a young interpreter drive up to the family's tent. Satima marvels at the fact that Abdelkarim always arrives when her husband is not at home. He says that the woman should cover her head, it is indecent. Satima replies that if he doesn't like something, he can turn away, and in general, a man who offends a woman ceases to be a believer. After staring at Satima for a while longer, Abdelkarim says that she can make any request to him. The voodoo woman Zabu put on brightly colored clothes and wrapped a torn hijab around her, and as she did so she approached the jihadists and called them bastards, but apparently they were afraid to touch her, so they just continued to find out who was cooler, Zidane or Messi, and which soccer team was stronger, Brazil or France. Afterwards, Zabo blocked the way for the armed squad. The weeping saleswoman is sure there will be no life here? She has to leave. On the way home, Kidden bumps into Abdul Karim, the interpreter. Omar asks him not to touch Kidden's family, a good man, and Satima, a strong woman. In response, Abdul Karim shoots the bushes with a Kalashnikov. The family's tent stands alone in the middle of the desert, all their neighbors have fled. Kidden thinks it is better to stay than to run all the time. Satima tells her husband about a private visitor who is here while he is away. The newcomer to the jihadist ranks records a video message. He used to be a rapper, that is, a sinner, but Allah has guided him to the right path. His speech sounds unconvincing, he doesn't really believe what he's saying himself. Another helps him tune in and pick up the words. That's what's bothering him in this world. The West, abuse, injustice. But in fact, all this is alien to the guy and he is completely sour. At night, armed squads prowl around the city and search for where the music is coming from. The house with the intruders was soon found. The soldier called the officer in charge and it turned out that the song was a praise for Allah and his prophet, but orders were given to detain the intruders anyway. Kidden also likes to entertain his family by playing the guitar. The fisherman Amadou constantly shouts at the shepherd boy Isan to keep the cows away from his nets. One animal he didn't keep track of got tangled up in his nets. Amadou silently took a spear in his hand and launched it at the cow, the wounded animal, and let its breath go, while the fisherman went on with his business. It was a favorite cow of Kidden's herd. A weeping Isan came running to the tent and told him what had just happened. The man pulled out his stashed gun, and his wife asks him to talk to the fisherman first and go to him unarmed, but Kidden wrapped it back in a rag and hid it in his clothes. Isan's father is killed, and Toya says her daddy is still alive because he doesn't fight wars, but plays guitar and sings. But no one can know about that. The jihadists find a soccer ball and ask passers-by who it belongs to. One of the guerrillas tells them in a megaphone that residents are forbidden to sit in front of the house and do idle things, wasting time, cheating and not keeping clean during Ramadan will be punished by death through stoning. Soon the owner of the ball was found, and it was forbidden to play soccer. The guy knew about this prohibition, for that he would receive 20 lashes. Other guys gathered at the stadium to play soccer as well, but without the ball, they liked the sport so much that they were ready to rejoice even at imaginary goals. However, when the jihadists drove up, the boys immediately started doing various exercises, lest they think they were having fun, and also punish them with lashes. An enraged Kadal moved on to Ahmad. Water does not belong to him, who gave him the right to kill an animal. Amadou immediately spread his arms. During the struggle the gun went off, both men fell into the water and did not move, but then Kidden got to his feet and waddled to shore. Amadou tried several times to get up and get to the other side, but died lying in the water. His body was found by an armed detachment. Kidden was stopped as he was on his way home, his gun and phone were taken away, and he was taken to prison. In the evening, Satima and Toya, not waiting for Kidden, begin walking around the desert in hopes of catching a cell phone signal. Kidden himself asks the guard to call his wife, so Satima finds out where her husband is. One family, despite the strict ban, entertains themselves by playing the guitar and singing. They sing about their native Timbuktu, that it is a city of freedom, but in fact its inhabitants are no longer free. A jihadist broke into the house, a man with an instrument ran out the window and a chase ensued. Abu Hassan explains to Kidden through an interpreter that he does not have much time left, Sharia law will be applied, he will have to ask Amadou's family for forgiveness, and they will count the price of the blood in cows. Even though Kidden has only 7 cows left, he has a total of 40 animals to get his hands on. Kidden asked the interpreter why he got involved with such people. He himself has accepted his fate, but he is sorry he cannot protect Toya now, his daughter will soon be an orphan, Abu Hassan said, but asked that his words not be translated. The woman has appeared in court and is accused of singing songs yesterday, for which she was sentenced to 40 lashes. Many people came to watch the execution. At first the woman was patient and only cried, but she could not stand the pain and cried loudly, and under the hail of blows she began to sing again. All this was filmed on video camera. Despite the fact that the jihadists forbid everyone to smoke, Abdulkarim himself constantly hides in the sands to smoke a cigarette. The interpreter asks them not to hide from him, everybody knows he is smoking. The 3 gunmen pinch the young girl against the wall, order her to cover her face and question her about what she has been doing here. The girl confesses that she was on the phone with her brother, but the commander says she is lying and orders them to take her away. The 2 residents were accused of treason, buried up to their necks in the sand, and executed by stoning them to death. The rapper watched as one jihadist, who hid from everyone but the Haitian woman Zabo, danced in the sand. Another soldier, speaking English with the help of 2 translators at once, tried to negotiate with a woman to give her pretty daughter for him. The woman would not agree to give her daughter to some stranger, but if she did not change her mind in that case he would use force. Isan dreamt of 40 cows that could have saved Kidden. Many young pretty girls in hijabs were imprisoned. Kidden was brought to Amadou's family and asked if they would forgive him, but his mother firmly said no, at least not today. Just at this moment Kidden's wife got on the phone. Abdulkarim gave the phone to the translator and made a certain gesture. The translator conveyed a message from Abdulkarim that her husband could not be helped, it was over for him. Kidden himself says he accepts whatever Allah has prepared for him. Despite her mother's prohibition, Abu Hassan did give her daughter in marriage to his man, doing so in a hurry under the cover of night and without her guardian being present. To Abu Hassan's complaints, she replies that they are all custodians here, for they control these territories, and her husband is a pious man and a good fighter, in general a perfect choice and nothing to complain about. The man from the mosque notices that this happens more and more often, people are dissatisfied, but the jihadist allegedly didn't notice anything like that, they are doing everything right. Kidden was taken out of his cell, put into a car and brought to the place of execution. A motorcyclist, one of the locals, arrived after Satima, he handed her a gun and they went towards the jihadists. Kidden saw his wife, ran towards her and did not let her shoot, they were both shot. An armed detachment went in pursuit of the motorcyclist and opened fire on him as well, he failed to escape. At the same time, the orphan girl Toya is running through the desert, not yet knowing that she is all alone.